My name is Angelina, and for years, I thought I was living the dream life most women longed for. A loving husband, a beautiful son, a stable home. On the outside, it looked picture perfect, something people admired when they saw us at church or at Kevin's school events. My husband, John, was charming in public, always smiling, always attentive when others were watching. He knew how to play the role of the good man. But behind closed doors, shadows lurked in the corners of our marriage. At first, I thought it was stress from work, exhaustion from responsibilities, or simply a phase. But then those shadows grew darker, thicker, until they consumed the light I thought I had. The first real sign came one Thursday evening. John claimed he had an urgent meeting, but something in his eyes betrayed him. The way he avoided my gaze, the way his shirt collar was wrinkled like he had changed in a rush, the faint smell of a perfume I didn't own clinging to his jacket, it was enough to awaken my instincts. Still, I pushed the thought away. I was a wife. A mother. I didn't want to believe the man I had shared my vows with, the man who once whispered promises of forever, could betray me. But fate has a cruel way of ripping blindfolds away. One night, while folding Kevin's clothes, I heard John's phone buzz on the nightstand. He was in the shower, humming to himself as if nothing were wrong. I shouldn't have looked. I had always told myself I trusted him. But that evening, something inside me shifted. With shaky hands, I picked up the phone and saw the notification. A message. From someone named Claire. Last night was perfect. Can't wait to feel you again tomorrow, John. My heart stopped. My breath caught in my throat, and suddenly, the world tilted on its axis. The floor seemed to slide beneath me. Claire. Who was she? How long had this been going on? My hands trembled as I scrolled further. There were dozens of messages, sweet nothings, promises of weekends together, even pictures. Pictures of my husband's smile, the same smile he used to give me, now reserved for someone else. I stood frozen, staring at the phone while the shower ran in the background. And in that moment, I made a decision: I wouldn't confront him. Not yet. Not when he had the upper hand. If he wanted to play games, I would show him I could play too. Only, I would play smarter. Over the next few weeks, I became an actress. I laughed at his jokes, cooked his favorite meals, and tucked Kevin into bed as though everything was normal. Inside, though, I was a storm, a quiet, calculating storm. I began watching John more closely. His excuses, his late nights, his sudden bursts of generosity when guilt gnawed at him. I pretended not to notice the lipstick smudge once hidden beneath his tie, or the faint scratches on his neck. I let him think I was blind. But behind his back, I planned. I started gathering evidence. Screenshots of messages, copies of his call logs, even a photo of him walking out of a hotel with Claire one rainy evening. I didn't confront him, because I knew that would give him power. Instead, I built my arsenal, slowly, silently, patiently. At the same time, I prepared myself. I upgraded my skills at work, forged stronger connections with my colleagues, and quietly set aside money into a private account John didn't know about. I wanted to ensure that when the time came, Kevin and I would be untouchable. And oh, the time was coming. The final straw came on Kevin's 7th birthday. I had planned a small party at home, balloons, cake, laughter. Kevin was thrilled, his eyes wide with excitement as he waited for his dad to walk through the door. But John never came. Instead, an hour into the party, I got a text. Sorry, work emergency. I'll make it up to Kevin. Work emergency. Later that night, after everyone had left and Kevin was asleep, I checked John's phone while he snored on the couch. And there it was, a photo. John at a bar, drink in hand, with Claire draped over him, smiling like they were the only two people in the world. My son's birthday. And this is where he chose to be. That night, I sat at the kitchen table, staring at the dark window, and swore to myself I would not cry anymore. I would not beg. I would not plead. I would not let this man, this coward, destroy me. Instead, I would destroy the illusion he built. Step 1 was simple: gather allies. I confided in only one person, my best friend, Sophia. She was fiery, unapologetic, and loyal to the bone. When I told her everything, she didn't gasp or pity me. She just nodded and said, "Then we'll make him regret ever crossing you." Together, we crafted the plan. I continued acting the dutiful wife at home, but behind the scenes, I set everything into motion. I had already collected proof of the affair. Now, I began quietly transferring some of our joint assets into my personal account, all within legal limits, but enough to ensure Kevin and I would be secure. I also contacted a lawyer, Mr. Graham, who specialized in divorce and custody cases. With the evidence I had, he assured me I would win not just custody, but also a significant settlement. Still, I wasn't satisfied. I didn't just want financial security. I wanted John to feel the humiliation, the sting of betrayal, the same way I had felt it. It all came crashing down one Friday evening. John had invited a few friends over for a small dinner. He liked showing off our home, pretending to be the perfect husband. Claire, I knew, was supposed to be at some conference that weekend, so he thought he was safe. I prepared the food, poured the wine, smiled like the perfect hostess. And then, when everyone was seated, I stood up. "I'd like to make a toast," I said, my voice steady. John looked at me with mild surprise, raising his glass. "To my husband, John," I continued. "The man who taught me that appearances can be deceiving. That even the most charming smile can hide the darkest lies." Confusion spread across the table. John's face paled. And then, with deliberate calm, I pulled out my phone and connected it to the TV. The screen lit up with photos, John and Claire together. The messages. The hotel snapshots. Everything. Gasps filled the room. His friends stared in shock.